The next step is the 7 steps for creating fearless players. Show massive value in the effort, not in the result. When a coach belittles the effort of their players and the team with negative comments such as, "You guys look bad, that was horrible, that was sloppy," etc., they may at face value be seemingly benign statements, but they are not. The team may have felt that they were giving their best effort and put forth an exhausting effort, and you just wiped it away from them. Making negative comments disintegrates any deliberate effort for harmony. You are not being congruent with your philosophy when you make statements like this. You could instead address the potential issue directly with the players and therefore inspire their hearts. If you feel the effort did not look up to par, give them a water break and instruct the players to return in 30 seconds and then discuss the drill and the outcomes around them. Now, I have a great story that kind of personifies what I'm talking about here. So I do a lot of guest coaching in basketball, and a boys youth basketball coach, I think he was doing 10, 12-year-olds, and I asked them, I wanted to find out where they were conditioning-wise, so I wanted them to run suicides and burpees to kind of get a feel for where they are. And I asked the coach to go ahead and run the drill. So I timed them at about 6.5 minutes or so. I could tell that they were starting to get a little gassed. And so in my mind, I'm going, okay, this is where these guys are condition-wise. And I said to the coach, they look like they're getting gassed. Why don't you go ahead and have them get a drink of water and come back here in 30 seconds? And he blows a whistle and says, "You guys are looking like crap. Go get a drink of water and get your butts back over here as soon as possible." Well, I turned around and looked at him and I said, "What are you doing?" And as soon as I looked at him, he knew he did something wrong. And I said, that seemed like a benign statement, like I said earlier, and none of the kids reacted to it whatsoever. But because now he's incongruent with his overall message, he just stripped a little piece of self-esteem away from them kids, and he stripped a little piece of influence away from him. And once he became aware of that, it was easy to have the conversation with them. And I said, look, this is how if you feel like your kids are not performing at their best, you have to think of a way to inspire them. So I brought the team back and I said, hey, how do you think you guys ran that drill? How long do you think you ran the drill before you got gassed? And they said 15 to 20 minutes. And I told them that they were only conditioned to run full bore for 6.5 minutes. They couldn't believe it. And I said to them, I coached a championship team and their conditioning was 15 minutes. And they were an 8th grade girls championship team. My question is, we have a good 10 weeks left in the season. In the next 4 weeks, can we get to 15 minutes of conditioning? And they totally agreed. They were completely on board with it. And now, in their minds, they're inspired to work as hard as they can. Do I need to use conditioning drills as consequences when I frame it to inspire their hearts? This whole program is based on just looking at it a little different so you can create inspiration with the kids. Praise the player for their efforts. In conditioning drills, after you teach them something new, remember to praise the player. Ask them if they believe that they can do better. What do we need to work on? The players will let you know. Help immerse your players in the positive experience. Never talk about winning. Strength does not come from winning. Winning is not important in this system. It's a side effect. That doesn't mean that the coaches shouldn't discuss winning amongst themselves. How you play the game has nothing to do with how your players play. Just like the game of chess, you know the strength of all the pieces. It's up to you to put them in the best positions to succeed. If the player wants to set winning as a team goal, let them. Winning as stressed by the coach can make the player feel bad for losing and put unnecessary stress on them. So talking about winning puts unnecessary pressure on your players. Think about it like this. Have you ever played a game where as a team you didn't play really well or as well as you could have and you still ended up victorious? Have you ever played a great game where all the players were in complete rhythm and yet you still lost? Of course you have. We all have. Should the players determine their feelings by wins and losses or determine their feelings on the effort they displayed in the game? Players will feel better about themselves when they know that they are giving their absolute best, regardless if they win or lose the game. It's kind of like life, right? You give your best. That doesn't mean that the players won't be disappointed about the loss. It simply means that they will not internalize the loss as an opportunity to feel bad about themselves. Now, one of the things that I love to do when I'm in practices and when my players are running conditioning drills is I say incantations. Now, what incantations do is they condition the heart and the mind while they are doing conditioning drills or exercises. All incantations are designed to bring out the player's very best. I would repeat these sayings over and over and over again during conditioning drills so that players understand why they are doing what they are doing, why they are important, why these drills are important, and why you work them so hard. This is positive reinforcement. Examples are, you cannot fail. Why are you here? Work the body, work the body. I would say these while they were running conditioning drills all the time. What are other teams doing right now? Are they working as hard as you? How hard are you willing to work for your teammates? What team works the best? What team has the sharpest precision? What you work hard for in private, you will be rewarded for in public. Work hard in practice, it'll make the games easier. What can you do to get better? What can you do to be better? I would say these over and over and over again. I keep planting seeds of inspiration and encouragement in whatever area that I can think of to inspire my players to want to be their absolute best. I work their hearts, I work their minds, and I work their bodies so they can feel strong, bold, both mentally and physically. Your players will start to demonstrate confidence and leadership at practices and at games. Conditioning your players to have the freedom to fail. I express to my players, if you are open for a shot and you can shoot it in rhythm and in our offense, shoot. I don't care if you miss 15 shots in a row. I never want my players afraid to take a chance to be great. I love watching players who will run through a brick wall for themselves and for each other. They're not doing it for me. You do not need to yell at your players to get them to perform at their best when you inspire them to be their best. Ask purposeful questions. How do you feel we are executing the plays or the drills? Are you giving your best effort? Where do we need to get better? What can we do right now to get better? What can we do right now to be better? You see, it's the same experience and there's a different result. You're developing players and you're training leaders. You're developing little coaches. Teach your players the tools to inspire others, not to degrade them. There is no failure in the Inspired Coach system. For there to be no failure, you must first remove the fear. By now, you have a strong understanding of how to create a great environment and atmosphere for you to manage your team. When you see players struggling or not playing at their best, reassure them that this happens occasionally and to play through it. Even the pros have bad days. Encourage them to keep giving their best. It is a fact that some days you're just off and out of rhythm. It doesn't mean that you're not giving your best effort, so why would you treat that player negatively? When you do, you make an emotional withdrawal from that player's emotional bank account. If you consistently behave this way, you will lose the players because you are way overdrawn on their emotional bank account, and the player has to foreclose on you. They will literally fire you as a coach and go play another sport. Help your players feel good about putting in a massive effort, and then they will give you more than you could possibly imagine. Be free to play and have fun. Give the players permission to have a good time playing in the game. Remember, you as the coach are creating an environment for your players to do and be their absolute best and bring out the best within them. When the players feel free to play and have fun, they look for rewards equal to their ability. Players will find joy in the precision and the execution of a successful play. They will smile and high-five each other and still maintain their play at a very high level. Kids want to work hard, and they will if they see the value in it. Frame it to them why it's important. Remember, you're the one creating the environment and the atmosphere for these kids to thrive. How you communicate to your players goes way beyond the X's and O's and drills for skills. Understand the power you have as a youth coach. Know how to use that power determines the outcome of your season. Once you lay down the entire framework, you can then turn your attention to the development and inspiration of your players' hearts and mind. I hope that you got a lot out of this module and that you take the fear and inspire your players to be the absolute best that they can be by you being the absolute best that you can be. And remember, do your best, go out of your way to make those around you better, and most importantly, have fun. Please leave your comments and questions below. I'm looking forward to reading them, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.